I still remember the smell of that bank, a mix of dust, cheap perfume, and desperation. The loan officer had smiled at me like I was another fool signing away his peace. Maybe I was. I borrowed $82,000 to pay for my younger brother's education. He was the golden child, the one who was supposed to make it. Me? I was just the older brother who never went to college, who worked night shifts at a printing press, whose hands were always ink-stained and tired. But when he cried that night, head in his hands, rejection letter on the table, something inside me broke. He said, "I can't do it, Nate. I can't afford to go." And I said, "You will. I'll figure it out." I didn't tell him about the loan. Didn't tell him I'd signed away my car, my apartment, my weekends. Didn't tell him about the interest that would quietly strangle me for years. He didn't need to know. He just needed to dream. The first semester was easy. I sent money directly to his college account. He'd text me pictures, smiling in lecture halls, posing with friends, writing captions like "chasing my dreams." And every time I'd see those pictures, I'd smile too. But as months turned into years, the messages changed. He stopped calling. Then he stopped replying altogether. When he came home for the holidays, he looked at me differently. Like I was some relic from a past he didn't want to remember. He'd talk about his future, his opportunities, his investors. He never once mentioned my sacrifices. I told myself it didn't matter, because family means giving without expecting anything back. At least that's what I believed. Until the night of his graduation. The hotel ballroom sparkled like a diamond mine. Gold balloons, champagne towers, expensive suits. He'd done it. Graduated top of his class. Hired by a top firm. The future wide open. I stood at the back of the room, near the bar, a shadow among strangers. He spotted me once, nodded briefly, then went back to his circle of executives and professors. Our parents were glowing, telling everyone how proud they were, how our family worked hard for him. Then came his speech. He walked to the podium, confident, flawless, basking in applause. He began thanking everyone, his mentors, his classmates, our parents, and then he said it, most of all, "I want to thank my parents for giving me the freedom to chase my dreams and for teaching me never to rely on anyone else." The room erupted with clapping. He glanced in my direction for half a second, a flicker, maybe guilt, maybe pride, then moved on. My hands tightened around the glass. Not anger, not shock, just silence. He'd erased me, publicly, cleanly, like I was a line he could delete from his story. He didn't know that erasing me came with a price. He thought I'd paid his tuition from savings. He didn't know the loan was in both our names. That day he turned 18, I'd added his signature to the application. Legal guardian's joint account, cosigner. He'd signed the forms without reading, too eager to get into college. And the clause, I'd added myself, quietly, with a friend's help. Clause 9. Any act of public defamation or denial of financial support nullifies all informal forgiveness of debt. The cosigner becomes solely responsible for repayment. In simple words, if he'd ever pretended I hadn't helped him, the entire loan would legally shift to his name. He had just done exactly that. The next morning, I printed the transcript of his speech, his words, recorded and uploaded on the university's official page. Then I called my lawyer. He was quiet for a long time after reading the file. Then he said, "He really doesn't know what he signed, does he?" "No," I said. And that's the problem. Within a week, the bank transferred the loan responsibility to him. Legally flawless, completely enforceable. A notification email was sent to his new corporate address. Repayment begins next month. Total due $96,430. He called me 3 days later. I was at work, covered in printer ink, when my phone buzzed. "What the hell did you do, Nate?" "Just made sure you remembered where your success came from. They're saying I'm responsible for a loan. Your loan." "This has to be a mistake." "No mistake. Read the fine print." He went silent. I could hear his breathing, quick, uneven. "You're insane. You think this is revenge?" "No," I said quietly. "This is reality. You thanked everyone but the one who bled for you." He hung up. Weeks passed. He tried calling the bank. They confirmed it was legitimate. He tried hiring a lawyer. The lawyer told him he didn't have a case. He even called our parents, crying that I'd trapped him. Mom called me, furious. "He's your brother. How could you do this to him? How could he erase me?" I asked. "He's young, he made a mistake." "So did I said. I believed in him. After that, silence. No more calls, no more messages. Just the sound of my loan disappearing from my account, line by line, as the payments started hitting from his. By month 3, he'd lost his apartment. By month 4, his company suspended him. Financial instability, they called it. His credit score tanked. His car was repossessed. And the same news outlets that once wrote glowing features about his inspiring journey started whispering about his financial mismanagement. He tried to reach out again. This time I met him at a small coffee shop near the old library where he used to study. He looked thinner, tired, eyes rimmed with red. "Why, Nate?" he whispered. "Why would you do this?" "I didn't do anything," I said. "You did. When you erased me, you erased the one person who saved you." "I was just nervous. I didn't mean it like that." "Intent doesn't matter. You should know that. You have a business degree now." He flinched. "I'll pay you back. Just please remove the clause." "It's not me you owe anymore," I said, standing. "It's the bank." He grabbed my wrist. "You've destroyed me." I looked him in the eye. "No, Ethan. I just handed you the bill you forgot existed." 6 months later, he declared bankruptcy. Our parents sold their vacation home to cover some of his debt. He moved back with them, working part-time at a local supply store. I didn't gloat, didn't post, didn't celebrate, because this wasn't revenge in the Hollywood sense. This was balance. Every tear I'd shed filling out those loan forms, every sleepless night wondering if I'd ruined my life for him, all of it had finally evened out. He called me once more, late at night. His voice was softer this time. "I get it now," he said. "You wanted me to learn." "No," I said. "I wanted you to remember." Then he hung up. People talk about forgiveness, like it's some kind of moral trophy, something you owe the ones who wronged you. But forgiveness doesn't rebuild what's broken. It just makes you forget who broke it. He wanted to erase me from his story. Now, his story starts and ends with me. Sometimes I drive past the university where it all began. There's a plaque near the entrance with the names of top graduates. His name is still there, engraved in gold. And every time I see it, I smile, because I know what it cost him to get there and who paid the price. I didn't ruin him. He ruined the one person who believed in him and then learned what that belief was worth. Family isn't blood. It's repayment with interest. And in my world, every debt gets collected. He thought I gave him a future for free, but nothing in life, not even love, comes without a clause.